Hello everyone, and welcome to Rage Against the Imperium. In today's game, we have 1,500 points of Mephrit Necrons vs UltraMarines. We are playing Targets of Opportunity from Chapter Improved and use the Search and Destroy deployment. Lists are in the description below. Hope you enjoy the game. Like, comment and subscribe.
To Rage Against the Imperium. In today's game we have UltraMarines versus Necrons. So we are seeing who goes first. My opponent got +1 for deploying first, so I got a 1. And my opponent gets a 4. So do I see it on a 6? Gun is off. No, that's a 4. So we'll go to my opponent's turn 1. Okay, so we're going to do Grand Illusion for the Deceiver. That lets him and up to D3 other models move anywhere on the board more than 12 inches away from my enemy's units. So, we got a 6. We redeployed the Deceiver and D3 models, so I redeployed Illuminor Szeras here, the Warriors and Gauss Immortals, as well as the Deceiver 12 inches from his Dreadnought and from his other Space Marines. So we'll go on to my opponent's turn 1 and see what happens.
Start turn 1. Our objectives are here, that's 6. There's 4. There's 1. There's 2. There's 5. And 3 is over here. My opponent has drawn Security 2. No prisoners. And Lightning Strike. So we will see what happens at the start of my enemy's movement phase.
Okay, so end of my enemy's movement phase, his Terminators moved towards my blob of death. His Devastators just kind of moved or stayed on top of the building there to get cover. His Tactical Squad, sorry, just kind of stayed there with their characters, and Dreadnought went towards Scarabs in hopes to get as many wounds as possible so that I can get some command points, or victory points, sorry. So we will go on to my opponent's shooting phase as he has Psychers in his army, and we will see what damage he does to my army. So end of my opponent's charging, moving and shooting phase. Everything you see, pretty much shot the Scarabs over there, and they all died. So he got score no prisoners, and Lightning Strike gave me 2 victory points, plus First Blood gave me 3 victory points. He tried charging with the Terminators, they failed. He tried charging with the Dreadnought, that failed. So I also lost 4 warriors from the Terminators shooting at them. So started my turn 1, I drew Blood and Guts, I drew Secure 5, and I drew Secure 3. I also have 4 warriors coming back on a 4+ thanks to Illuminor Szeras, so on a 4+ they come back, and I get 1.
Suck it, Necrons.
On my movement phase, I just moved them up towards the rest of them up there. I moved the Scarabs towards Dreadnought. I veiled the Immortals and Lord next to 3 and to be within 12 inches of that squad there, so they are -1 to hit or -1 AP. And I moved this Doomsday Ark up here that was down there so I could get it to 5. So, Illuminor Szeras has an ability called Mechanical Augmentation. So I get to pick a Necrons unit or Immortal unit within 3 inches, and on a 1 they get +1 strength, on a 2 they get +1 toughness, and on a 3 they get +1 ballistic skill. So I'm going to nominate the warriors for this turn. So I got a 3, so they are now 2+ to hit instead of 3+. Yeah. And as well as that, I'm going to use one of the Deceiver's powers, so I'm going to use Anti-Mash Meteor. So I get to pick any enemy unit within the closest enemy unit within 24 inches, so that would probably be them. So on 2+ to D6 mortal wounds, or D3, so I take D3 mortal wounds, and for 1. So those Terminators are down to 1 wound. And that is the end of my movement phase. We're going to go on to my shooting phase next. So that's the end of my shooting phase. Warriors shot into those guys up there and they saved everything. The Immortals shot into Terminators. 6 are rapid range, so I got 6 of them. I got 12 shots at -3. and killed 3 out of 5 there. I dropped the Dreadnought down from 12 wounds down to, 10 wounds down to 3 wounds from both Doomsday Arcs focus firing and his Gauss rays shot into the graves up there, as well as the Tezza Immortals, and they got rid of nearly half the squad over there. So we are going to go on to my charge phase and we will see what happens. So, done my charging. He overwatched with his Dreadnought into the Scarves to nothing, so I get a charge. I think I get it with a 6.
So let me measure.
Yeah, it should be possible. So we'll come back to you whenever everything is piled in and we'll see how much damage we can do to this Dreadnought. Hopefully we can kill it and get our 3 points. Start to pile in with the Dreadnought. I'm going to pop a stratagem. I'm on 6 command points currently because I use 2 for rerolls. But I'm going to use the self-destruction. So I nominate a Scar when base contact, and on 2+ it does D3 mortal wounds. So I'm going to nominate this one here, and on 2+ it explodes. Guard 2. So I'm okay. So D3 mortal wounds on this Dreadnought. I'm going to CP that 1. So I'm down to 4 CPs. Okay, so we got a 1, so he's done 2 wounds. So we will come back to you after fighting and hopefully we'll be able to destroy it. Let's see what happens. I exploded the Scarab, did 1 more wound. Out of my 24 attacks, 13 went through, and out of 13 attacks, 5 became wounds, and he rolled all his saves. So now his Dreadnought's going to fight back, and I am down 1 victory point that I potentially could have got him. So let's see what damage my opponent does to my Scarves. Yeah, they all hit.
No, I'm hitting on 4 pluses, so 1 miss. Wounding on 2s.
Yep.
I killed 3 bases.
Damage?
3.
Dead. Dead. Dead.
I'm legit surprised.
So that is the end of my turn. I don't have any morale to do. Do you have morale to face? You have those guys there, don't you?
Oh yeah. So let's roll this. It's like a 1. Okay.
You got 6.
5 of 11.
Yeah.
So they're Space Marines. They re-roll that.
Yeah. 6 again.
Okay, so I think I'll lose like 2 of them because they used the cycle. So they just lose 2 guys?
Yeah, so 2 guys are dead.
No, 3 guys.
3 guys are dead, sorry. And you don't have to take them around for the Terminators, do you? You got 1, you're fine.
Even if I did?
Yeah, you're fine, don't worry.
Okay, so the interesting thing is, I don't know if they get to come back from the standard. Do they count as having died or not?
Let's see what happens and find out. End of my turn 1, I didn't get Blood and Guts because his Dreadnought didn't die, so I have to lose that next turn. I did get secure 5 for the Doomsday Arc though, and I do get secure 3 for having the Lord over there. So my opponent is on 3 victory points and I am on 2, and we will see what happens on my opponent's turn 2. So start my opponent's turn 2, he drew secure 1, defend 4, and defend 2. So we'll see what he can do with this movement phase and see if he's able to get any more victory points this turn. Let's go to my opponent's turn 2. And my opponent's movement phase, his Dreadnought is to combat with the Scarab so he can kill him. He just moved all these stats up towards 4 to defend it and towards my blow with that. And the guys over here move towards the Immortals, trying to destroy them and the Lord. So we'll come to my opponent's shooting phase and we'll see how much damage he can do. With my opponent's movement and shooting phase, as well as charge phase. The Immortals up there, they all died. Everything there shot it. The Warriors, the Lord is still alive there somewhere. I have 1 Scarab left after him punching. I didn't bother exploding it, did no wounds. He charged with the lads here and killed an extra 3 warriors, and he shot and charged with these. He shot and charged them and basically killed 3 warriors. And then he shot and charged the Terminators into the Immortals and he killed 5? Yeah, he killed before 5. So because of Illuminor Szeras, they all passed morale and they all passed morale. And my opponent did not score any cards this turn, so he's still on 3 victory points. but he is holding to the 4. But if I do kill those 3 models, he will get no points. So we'll go on to my turn 2 and see what I draw and see what I can do. So starting my turn 2, I got behind enemy lines, which my Deceiver should get. I got Predators received, which then I drew Age Machine. So Illuminor Szeras has to kill the Dreadnought for those 2 points to go through, and I got Assassinated. I also have Reanimation. So I have 3 6 warriors coming back on a 4+ with Illuminor Szeras, and I get 3. So I'll just put those 3 within coherency of the other lads. And I have 7 Immortals coming back as well on 4+. And we get 2. Oh, sorry, we get 4. We get 3. So I just throw them here, there, and 1 there. My Lord has gained his final wounds. He's back up to 5 wounds. And we will see what happens next. So, end of my movement phase on turn 2. I fell back with the warriors. I moved to Doomsday Ark that was here on top of there so that it could be range of them guys. He stayed there. The Lord went around the corner because he's a bitch, pretty much. And Illuminor Szeras is now going to buff them. So using his augmentation rule, they are ballistic skill at weapon skill 2, and they're since like combat. So my Titan is going to use his cosmic fire Titan power, meaning that every enemy unit with 9 inches of this Titan on a 4+ takes D3 mortal wounds. So we'll roll for these guys first on a 4+. Yeah, got a 4. So they take D3 mortal wounds for 3. The Terminators here on a 4+. Yeah, got a 6. They take a D3 mortal wounds for 3 on Terminators.
So 1 wound left on them?
Yeah. Your squad of lads there on a 4+. Yeah, on a 4, they take D3 mortal wounds for 1. So 1 more wound for them. Okay. And
Never gonna be a good.
they're all the same unit, aren't they? They're all the same unit. Okay. So that's my Deceiver's powers done for this turn. So we'll go on to my shooting phase and see how much damage we can do. So for the lulls, I shot Illuminor Szeras into the Dreadnought first to see if I could get my Predators received, and I hit. I wounded. He failed the save. He failed the save. CP the save, failed it again, and I got 4 wounds on his 2 wound Dreadnought. So now that Dreadnought is destroyed and killed, I automatically get 4 command points. So I'm now up to 6 to my opponent's 3 so far. So we'll go on to the rest of my shooting phase and see how much damage I can do. Into my shooting and fighting phases, Illuminor Szeras popped the Dreadnought, which got me priority received and 8 machines, that's 4 points.
They're wiped out by morale?
I was able to wipe them out with morale from focus fire from both DDAs. He shot his small cannon and small guns at them, and he shot his big cannon at the lads there, and the small guns at the lads there. They fell back. They stayed in combat, killed him, but he CP'd his last roll, saved the roll, and he did get his last command point back, so now my opponent has no more command points the rest of the game, and he fought back and killed 1 Immortal. So as it stands, because I have 3 enemy models within his deployment zone, because we use search and destroy deployment, I get D3 victory points. So I get 3 plus 1 for Age of the Machine, which is 4, and then plus 3 for tactical for priority received. So that is 7 plus 2, which brings up to 9, 3 to me. So I'm on 9, my opponent's on 3, and we will go to my opponent's turn 3 and see what damage he can do for his turn. My opponent drew his turn 3, defend 6, secure 3, and scour and disguise. So we'll see how much damage my opponent can do in his turn. Hopefully he gets some victory points to make this game a little bit closer than it is, and we should see how the rest of the game goes. And my opponent's shooting and charge phase, as you can see, these lads came in, shot at Illuminor Szeras. He stayed shot, but they charged and they killed him in combat. I lost an Immortal in combat. The warriors were unscathed, the sea were unscathed, the Scar was forgotten about. He shot basically everything that was here into Doomsday Ark, dropping them for 14 wounds down the tree. and these lads that came in from deep strike killed my lord and took 3. So my opponent secured 3. He didn't get Scour in Skies, and and he doesn't get defense 6 because I have a unit, because I have my Immortals and they are just secured. So because he got say the Warlord and he got command point, he's at 5 points.
Sorry. One of my Devastators is still alive. Ultramarines get +1 leadership.
Okay.
So do you know that one that I just...
So we forgot that the Deceiver has +1 morale, so he actually didn't get secure 4, so it actually is 9-5 to me. So we're going to my turn 3, see what happens. So my turn 3, I got mission critical objective, I rolled 6, so if I keep these 3 lads here, I get a point. I got defend 5, I don't think I get anything there, well maybe Doomsday Arc. And I got defense 6. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I get good reanimation protocols. So with Illuminor dead, I'm back on 5+ reanimations. So I have 5 Immortals, 6 Immortals coming back on 5+. That was way better than any Illuminor Szeras roll ever. So I get 3 guys back. And on the Warriors, I have 3, 6, 12. I have 3 Warriors come back on 3+. So yeah, 2 guys come back on 5s. And we will go to my movement phase and see what I can do. So in movement phase, I fell back with the Warriors or the Immortals. Warriors can stay at the arcs, they're going to shoot stuff, and I'm going to use constant power on the Deceiver. So this unit here on a 4+6 teacher mortal wounds. Nope, doesn't go off. Are they separate?
That is one squad across there.
Okay.
There's one character
Yeah,
there.
I'll go for the character next on a 4+6 teacher mortal wounds. No, and on his Warlord.
Yeah, and that's a separate squad, which is a...
And his Warlord over there on a 4+. No, so I don't do any damage.
Good.
Over him.
He's the sergeant of that tactical squad.
Okay, so that's fine. So I don't do anything to turn my Deceiver. Well, I can still charge though, we'll see what happens. So we'll go on to my shooting phase and see what we can do. So end my turn 3 and end of the game. Doomsday Arc just basically killed everything there. He jumped up and did nothing with his cosmic fire. The Warrior shot into the squad there and killed them. They fell back and hit on the 6. So end of my turn, end of the game. Game has finished at 11-6 because I got a point for my mission critical objective, which I rolled a 6, which I got there, and I'm also inside his deployment zone, so that's more points. So the game has ended 12-6 to Necrons, means Necron victory versus the UltraMarines. So thank you for tuning in for this week's game, and hope to see you in the next ones.
In this part of the video, we're going to be talking about tactics, what happened throughout the game, the good and bad, and everything else. So as you saw, the Necrons won 12-6. Could have won maybe 14 or 16 if the game had went on, but we had to end the game because the area was closing down and we didn't want to be there and make things a hassle, so we just decided to pack up and finish the game as it was. So the point of this list was for the Deceiver to move 2 or 3 of the units somewhere else on the board to be kind of like of a distraction and to be there to, you know, take maybe fire away from other parts of the army and, you know, go up towards the table and get some objectives and whatever else, harass, annoy, survive as you do. But so as you saw, roll 3. So I decided to move the Warriors and the Gauss Immortals because of rapid fire and because it was easier. And my plan was to have the Lord veil darkness with the Tesla Immortals, so that the whole blob of Illuminor Szeras, Tesla Immortals, Gauss Immortals, and Warriors would be rerolling ones to wound. But because I drew secure 3, and that was in the right hand corner of the deployment, and because my Scarbs couldn't get there unless I had advanced and needed to roll a 6 to be within 3 inches to be within holding of the objective, and I couldn't move a Doomsday Arc unless I had advanced that as well. So I just decided that because it was probably the best way to get points after my opponent scoring 3, that it was better to veil darkness over to that hand side of the board with the Tesla Immortals and the Lord, and leave the blob of Illuminor Szeras, Gauss Immortals, and Warriors in the middle on their own, because rerolling ones to wound is great, handy, fair enough. It's a good buff to have, but when your opponent has gotten 3 points in their first turn and you could get 1 or 2, you're better off just going for the 2 points to make the game a little bit closer. So yeah, realistically, the whole point of this army is that the all infantry are in between Illuminor Szeras and the Lord, so that they're real ones to ruined, and they can be buffed to either strength 1 or +1 strength, +1 toughness, or +1 ballistic skill. So yeah, the scarabs are just there to really get objectives and to go up and harass and to explode. Doomsday Arcs are just there to focus fire on whatever whatever my opponent brings. I was expecting like a lot of vehicles, like maybe like a few Russes or something, or maybe some Tyranids. I actually wasn't sure what I was going to go up against today, so I just kind of brought the Doomsday Arcs just in case, and they performed okay. Usually I was actually using them to grab objectives and stuff. I think if I didn't get that secure 3 card, I probably would have had everything inside the middle, meaning that the Illuminor Szeras probably wouldn't have died, because I would have had them bubble wrapped a bit more, because it says Immortals don't need to be closer than they already have unless I only get -1, but because I was getting charged so much, I could have just let them stay there and they would have overwatched and done their Tesla on a 6 from Overwatch and then have -1. So is what it is. They didn't really hold up pretty well on the right hand side. They kind of got destroyed within 2 turns, and so did the Lord, but it is what it is. So yeah, I don't really know what it's talk about during the game unless you saw some issues yourself. I think I played okay. Again, because I drew secure 3, I wasn't able to play the way I wanted to. I wanted all of this here to be in the middle from the deceiver, him shooting mortal wounds with cosmic fire and anti-matter meteor, and just being an annoying blob of thing that dying. I actually wanted everything to become toughness 5 from Illuminor Szeras. I was hoping I would get a 3 or 4 on the D3 dice roll, but I got a 5 and a 6, and plus +1 ballistic skill to make it 2 instead of 3 is good, especially against -1 modifiers, but because my opponent's weapons were a mixture of strength 4 and strength 5, if they were toughness 5, they would have survived longer. So I think the list probably would have performed better if they had been buffed to toughness 5 instead of being 2+. But I don't know, maybe there's some tweaks that I'm not seeing that you can see yourself. So yeah, this is the end of the game. I was quite surprised that I won because of what I got when I drew Age of Machine and pre-orders received. I wasn't expecting my Warlord Illuminor Szeras to pop the Dreadnought, but I wish I had recorded it. I thought that it would never happen, so I didn't bother. But that's my own mistake. It was quite the role to see whenever I have wounded and my opponent's face is dropped, because it automatically made me go from 2 points to 6 points, and it made the game drastically different. And as you saw, by my turn 3 going to his turn 4, he had maybe 2 or 3 mods left behind a bit of terrain. I still had Immortals, I still had Warriors, I still had my Deceiver up the right hand flank. I had one only Scarab, and I still had my 2 Doomsday Arcs. One was on 4 wounds or 5 wounds, maybe 4 or 5, and the other one was perfectly fine. So even if I had gone to turn 4 and been to my turn, he probably would have been tabled maybe, or well, the game would have been different. There probably would have been a lot more points gained. So yeah, for the next game, I'm going to be taking a break from the Necrons, not because I'm getting bored or anything, but just because I don't want this channel getting stale, and I don't want everyone thinking that I'm just a Necron fanatic that only plays Necrons and whatnot. So expect a different army. It'll either be Chaos or it'll be Xeno. I don't play Filthy Imperium Scum. That's not my jazz. So thanks for watching the game. Thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you saw any issues during the game or any mistakes that I made, pop them in the comments. Let me know. I'll do my best to not make those mistakes ever again. Hopefully. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Wishing you all the best. Rage Against Imperium out.